7:17 p.m. to order. A quorum is here, and the agenda was properly posted correctly, yes?
Yes.
Public appearances, anybody? Seeing none, we'll move on. Consider the minutes of the Utility Commission of August 13, 2025. Can I have a vote on that, please? Motion?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the 8/13/25 meeting.
I'll second it. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? No one abstaining. Thank you. Number 5, discuss and consider approval of vouchers. I'll make a motion to approve the vouchers as presented. Can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye, please. Aye. Anyone opposed? And no one abstaining. 6, unfinished business. A, discuss and consider construction agreement related to the Coyle South and Tierney property for the farm interceptor.
So I sent out the agreement this afternoon, the draft finalized agreement for your guys' review for the Tierneys. Kind of to summarize it, so the Tierney Pine Farms is everything south of Coyle South. It is the agreement includes a $200,000 reimbursement after some substantial completion has been reached, any MMSD fees and the impact fees for each of the new buildings will be paid as the development grows. So that you do the MMSD fees as the sewer extension is submitted for the plans. And then as the sanitary sewer interceptor is being constructed, the Tierneys have allowed borrow from the existing site to be used for our backfill. So we won't be hauling any backfill. It'll all be good granular backfill. And if there's not enough on site, that they will haul in from one of their other sites within their choosing. But it'll all be good granular backfill that will be used for the future then for their road. It's been really great to get this project where it is. It's been a big hurdle, and we've been very lucky that we've had both developers work together to where we've gotten to today. So that's the draft agreement that I have for you guys. We have a verbal agreement that we are working through with Hamburg's, just related to the sanitary sewer interceptor. At one time, it was going to be a TID 8 related, and it was going to be much more cumbersome, but we have reduced it to where we're just doing the sanitary sewer interceptor, which would be $139,000 for reimbursement, and they would reimburse us 1 year after completion. So the $200,000 and the $139,000, how we got it to both of those is their portions of the project. So half the cost of the manholes that came in the bid, a percentage of the cost of the 18-inch sanitary sewer based on an 8-inch to an 18-inch upsizing. So those developers would only have to put an 8-inch in. We're putting an 18-inch in, so that cost of that pipe, and then any of the sanitary sewer laterals and Ys that are being installed for their future projects, those are all being 100% paid for by the developer, which is where we got each of the two costs for each developer.
And so why that was the granular level, compared to what was presented originally to the Utility Commission, because part of this project provides relief to the existing system. So it was originally calculated to have a $121,000 impact on overall user. That is reduced down to $85,000. So the whole length, the 2,700 linear feet, is less of an impact than originally presented. And so we're not taking out any debt for this project. This project is being 100% cash funded.
Is there a number of Tierney homes that they project? Or is that not even done yet?
For the entire development, it is not done yet.
Okay. Any questions? Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve construction agreement for the Coyle South and Tierney property for the farm interceptor. Can I have a second, please?
With final adjustments by the village attorney.
Okay.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? And I'm abstaining.
Still farming. And he had just started a subdivision in Wanakee, and I went to this farm with Dwayne Wagner, who's one of our former
was it? Oh, okay. Okay, so now we'll move on to B, discuss and consider awarding the farm interceptor to the lowest bidder that was presented by Kayla.
Yes, we opened bids last week on September 11th. We had 7 bids received, which is super great for a end of the year. I meant to open that end of the year kind of bid award. Gerke Construction was the low bid at $1.3 million and some change. Gerke's out of Toma. I've actually worked with Gerke before. Good to work with. I've worked with them in Plain, Wisconsin. Engineers recommend moving forward with Gerke, with moving forward with the project.
Okay, any other discussion before we go? Okay, I need a motion to approve that, please.
I'll make a motion to award the farm interceptor project to Gerke Construction.
Okay, a second,
I'll
please.
second that.
Okay, any other discussion before we vote? So all those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? And I'm abstaining. So now, the CMAR annual report from the DNR.
We submitted our annual report for the sanitary sewer back in July. We received an A when we submitted it, and the DNR confirmed that we still have an A, so congratulations. We're doing great.
And thank you for your work. We don't need a motion on that, do we? Nope. Okay. So now we'll go down to 7, new business. Discuss and consider adoption of the 2026 water utility budget.
So, a couple things. We'll start with water, or as Charlie just said. We are going to be pursuing a conventional race case study in 2026. This has already been previously discussed with anticipation for a fourth quarter of 2026, first quarter of 2027 implementation. So this impact fee, or as the conventional rate case study is ongoing, we'll continue to update this commission. If you have been down Main Street and see well 3, which ultimately leads to our Tower 2, we did some patching as part of the SCADA project, but the parking lot for well 2 and the path leading up to Tower 2 was in terrible, deteriorating condition before the SCADA project. So I am proposing $8,500 being added to the maintenance of grounds line item to replace that asphalt, which we would be then including in our streets project to offset the cost of any asphalt. So we get a better price on that. In terms of capital expenses, we have our annual equipment purchases, where a portion of our general fleet and equipment are attributed to our water. So we're including for our purchases a replacement of a 3/4 ton pickup truck, which would actually be used primarily as one of the utility trucks with other staff as well. An F550 pickup with a dump box, barricades, and then we're requesting additional equipment to be purchased for safety and efficiency.
And are the barricades just like the concrete barriers?
No, they're going to be the like ones that you see in construction. They're not going to be like
Okay.
PDs. We just
Okay.
we are short on traffic control, so when we go out and do
Sure, no, that's fine.
replacements.
That's fine.
We are also requesting a well security system on well 3 and 4. So as part of the well 2 rehabilitation project, we're putting in cameras and key fob access at that well. And so in coherent with all of them, we're looking to install the security systems at well 3 and 4, as those are our most important assets for the water utility. Additionally, as you guys are aware of, the well 2 improvements, both the structure itself that Nate and Strand have come and presented on, as well as the well hole itself is going to be rehabbed. Have a budget number of there of $2.265 million. We will be rehabilitating the whole in-house. Our staff will be coordinating that on our end. The PSC has approved that as well, which was mentioned at the last meeting. And then we have the Gaston water main looping budgeted for $1.7 million that we've talked about as well, that's looping the water main from Gaston up to on TT. The other thing to talk about on the utility side is the 2027 engineering for the 2026 budget for the 2026 budget for engineering costs that will happen next year for proposed projects that have been included in the FMP so far. Ollie Street is planned for reconstruction in 2026, so $110,000 of that would go to design of upsizing the water main. And then North Main Street, South Main Street from Reynolds South to the village limits, we're also looking to upsize the underside 6-inch water main there, so there'd be some engineering cost associated with that.
That's not been put out for bid though, right?
Neither of those have, we wouldn't be doing engineering until 2026.
Okay, so it'd be midsummer probably to start project?
Um,
I'm just,
Are you talking about the Gaston water main or
Main Street,
so that wouldn't be until a 2027 project.
okay.
The well 2 improvements, we're hoping to bid out here in November, December, January, and same thing with the looping, that'll be a next year project.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, for the well number 2 improvement, that 2.26 million already also includes engineering dollars that,
I believe so.
So what we wanted to do when we presented this number is, when projects happen during several years, sometimes you lose track of the overall project costs. So some of these project costs for designing well 2 and the applications have been including this. And so this also includes a contingent, a level of contingency in there as well. So as Kylie had mentioned, we submitted and got approval at the PSC level for this project. With the capital expenditures that have been discussed, the proposed funding would be cash funded for the equipment purchases, which is a change from the last 2 years where it's been looped into the general borrowing. Same with the well systems 3 and 4. That would be funded if it would be approved through cash and not through a borrowing. The additional well 2 improvements and the water loop main improvements would be wrapped up in a overall borrowing. As I kind of talked to Kyla and, a conversation with Charlie as well as we're updating for our budget, my responsibility is to always come to the commission and say, well, where are there opportunities to save money or help improve or help reduce, in this case for water, the 2027 impact. And that would be the item that stood out to me. While important, I just wanted to note that what does going to have an impact on rates, and that's the security camera at well 3 and 4. So while it won't cause a significant adjustment, that is an additional service that we don't currently have at our wells. So you have the upfront $6,500 investment of the actual infrastructure, and then you have ongoing costs of about $2,500 for the licenses to be included in the village's security system. As Kyla mentioned, those are critical investments in the village, but just want to make sure that I was doing my fiduciary responsibility to say if there was a desire to pull back on potential 2027 rate impact, that would be a small item that could be considered.
Okay. We need a motion to approve this, correct? Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the proposed 2026 water utility budget. Can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone
Aye.
opposed? And no one's abstaining. Okay. So now we'll move on to B, discuss and consider adoption of the 2026 sewer utility budget, including rate adjustments.
So as normal, our largest operating expenses are MMSD service charge. They have worked with all of the communities that use MMSD this last year with their new chair, to try to be more upfront on what those kind of costs looks like. So one thing that was different from MMSD this year that we received earlier this week is that they gave us a fall between for our MMSD fees. Instead of always just giving us one number where who knows how they get that number, they kind of used our base, what our trends are showing now for a base number and then a high number. So with that, Cameron used that to estimate our $1,250,000, which is about a 10% increase from 2025. We also have the capital expenses, the annual equipment purchases. They're the same equipment purchases that were discussed on the water side. And then for potential 2027 projects that have currently been included in the FMP, we have 2026 cost incurred. And so that would be the Ollie Street and Main Street projects, as well as we discussed on the water side. On the Ollie Street, we'd be replacing old aging clay water main, or clay sanitary sewer that needs to be replaced for future breaks. And same thing on the end side. There's older sanitary sewer that we would replace as part of those projects. So overall, with the proposed budget that is included in the packet in more details, it's a recommended rate change of about 4%.
Okay. Any questions?
I'm just going to make a comment that the long-range cash flow analysis that was presented indicated a 5%. We really take a hard look at line by line on the sewer side and say what is essential, as well as what do we need to do to maintain the overall quality of the utility. We were able to make some adjustments down to get it down to 4%, along with working with MMSD to refine what our estimate would be. So we were able to get from a 5% recommended increase to a 4% recommended increase without sacrificing operations. And setting us up to not have a large increase for 2027, because it doesn't do us any good to do a 4% this year and then 10% the next year.
Okay, again, thank you both for your work on that, getting the rate as low as possible. So, a motion to approve the 2026 sewer utility budget, including the rate adjustment.
So moved.
Second, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And no one abstaining. And D, finally, discuss payment processing update.
Let's go up to, can we do C first?
Go to where? C. Oh, okay, my apologies.
No problem.
Discuss and consider deferred payment plan for the water and sewer impact fee for the 2848 County Highway BB in Cottage Grove.
So the owner, I'm going to read a statement that the owner provided of this property. I do want to point out that this is a situation where the commission was flexible in 2019. This is a property that currently has well and septic. There's nothing wrong with their well and septic, but because of, in 2019, when it was annexed in and the process was, they deferred to the development of fundamental way of triggering when they need to connect. That triggered, now with that road being improved, it triggers the requirement of the connection into the village. So along with these fees, this individual was required to pay $20,000 to MMSD for their connection fees, and then obviously with our impact fees. So I believe this request is reasonable. And so I will read this. So in advance of the upcoming Utility Commission meeting, I would like to formally request that the remaining balance due to the village in the amount of $6,560.93 be placed on a 3-year payment schedule with annual payments of $2,186.98. I also request that these payments be added to my property tax roll as a special charge. And so if that is agreeable to the Utility Commission, I would just ask that would be so moved.
So moved.
Okay, do we need to vote on that?
In a second, yep.
Okay, second, please. I'll second. Any other discussion besides the spider? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? No one abstaining. Thank you again. Now D, discuss payment processor update.
This will be a quick update. So as I discussed, and some communication has been sent out, the MSB credit card company and processor informed us on Friday of not last week, but the week before, that they would be discontinuing essentially our processing our credit card and bank payments. On Tuesday, we made our first communication. Last Tuesday, we made our first communication to residents. Between Wednesday and Thursday, we were able to test the new system and get it up and running with Zift and fully functional. Since then, we're about 350 people have re-enrolled out of about 1,000 who are enrolled for auto pay. And so we'll continue to monitor. I just want to let the commission know we will be waiving for the month of September any late fees that were affected as part of the administrative change. With then the late fees reconvening, starting back up the following month. So our accounting firm who provides, while it wasn't their fault, Cassell has offered to pay for our mailing that we sent out, and we are looking into legal action against MSP for damages, for the staff time and things that went into the updates. So at this time, that's all I have, but I wanted to make sure that the commission was updated.
Okay, thanks for the update. Any questions for him? Okay, we don't need a motion on that, just to update. Now down to 8, the engineer's report, please.
The West Lawns Estates 5th edition, the lift station is still not substantially completed. They went out and started and met to do startup. There were a couple things missing before startup could be completed, so that should be online here in the upcoming weeks. Heyday Cottage Grove has started moving dirt, as you've seen over there, and I got word as of today that they plan on starting sanitary sewer construction beginning early next week. So they'll be starting to put pipe in the ground down there. The Coil South and Pine Meadows Farm Development, we've already talked about that. We're going to be moving forward with the sanitary sewer interceptor as you guys just approved. SCADA upgrades, the project is substantially completed. The generator was started up at the end of late last week, so everything's moving forward with that. It's actually a very quiet generator as how large it is if you're looking at it. So that's going well as well. Well, to rehab, they're moving forward with 90% design, and we'll hope to see the end of those updates here at the end of September, and then we'll be going out to bid sooner rather than later. And then Gaston Road and TT water main looping, we are having a wetland delineation because there's some wetlands up there, as well as geotech borings are going to be starting here soon, just to confirm soils are good throughout that area and where we're going to be connecting into the casing pipe under the interstate. That's all for the engineer's report. One thing I did want to bring up to this commission and that I've brought up to both Public Works and Village Board when Strand did their annual review is, if you guys are okay, a lot of the Public Works and Utilities, if Chris sits on both committees, both reports are almost identical in a lot of ways. A lot of this stuff I have updates on as I talk to Strand almost daily on a variety of different things. I would like to just include their report into my director's report on these projects, unless you guys feel the need that you do like having both an engineer's and a director's report.
I'm okay combining them.
Yeah, I have no objection to trying it, see how it works, if that's okay.
Absolutely, perfect.
Okay. And thank you for doing Strand's engineer's report tonight.
I used to do these back in the day.
I know. Okay, so let's move on to the director's report, please, number 9.
The Verizon service on Water Tower 3, we had a pre-construction meeting in August, and as of last week, they were staking and they just started work up there yet this week. We're still continuing to move through our water valve exercising, specifically the streets that are planned to be constructed next year, reconstructed. Expeditors is going to be in the village here at the end of September to do a deep cleaning of Vilas, so we're excited to see what that looks like. All of our utility staff have never actually seen the very, very, very clean bottom of it, so we're excited to see how clean it is. Our annual hydrant repainting is going to be done by Faith Leak Detection for another 100 fire hydrants. They should be in here at the end of September, early October. We also completed our annual sanitary sewer televising for the year. We did it in 2 phases, just based on seeing how funds go. We did a large project in the spring, and we still had some funds as we were continuing to move through the year. So we did another portion. We are planning to have the entire village televised by 2027 in anticipation of a large sewer lining project on any of our concrete pipes that had previously been discussed as trying to do as operation-wise in pieces. It seemed as a better option to do as one large capital project once we have all the televising completed. I just wanted to provide some information to this commission about our utility staff. So we have a utility superintendent and a utility technician. Between the two of them, typically, we do have one public works staff that helps out on an ad-need basis. But we have completed 1,300 locates from January 1 to September 1. And we are on track to compete over the 1,500 locates that staff completed in the 2025.
Amazing.
So we only have 2 staff, and between the 2 of them, mostly our utility tech, he does a lot of locates. So if you ever see him out carrying paint, make sure to tell him thank you.
Okay, thank you for your report. Number 10, future agenda items. Any?
And this might be a little bit of a surprise to Kyla for now. We will be summarizing at a future meeting, the SCADA project, what was approved and what were the final costs.
Okay, thank you. And number 11, adjournment. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Second.
To borrowing money.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone
Aye.
opposed? No one abstaining. Thank you. And we are 1 minute over, Kyla, on pallet. I'm sorry.
No, I tried it quick.
Well, if Cam hadn't talked,
It was me. It was my last comment.
yeah. Oh, I left my mic on.